Okay, hello everyone. Welcome to Pathway Introduction session. I'm going to share my screen and then I will explain the pathway and then what it is, how to go about the pathways, how to pursue that. So here, before jumping on to that actual pathway, I want to I have a presentation here. In this one, it's just an overview. I want to give an overview first. So just like when you're talking about engineering or medicine or any other field, you have several paths in that. For example, an engineer can be a computer engineer, it can be mechanical engineer, civil engineer, like that. Or as a medicine, like you can be a specialist on any of that. Same way, even this public speaking also has different paths in that. So those things in Toastmasters is called pathways. So in Toastmasters, there are 11 pathways available. The default is the presentation mastery and all these dynamic leadership, engaging humor, and so on and so forth. They're all different pathways. And no matter what pathway you take. So initially, when you join Toastmasters, you would have paid the Toastmasters fee of $45. Currently, it is $45, and then $20 extra for actually your for first pathway. So you need to pay $20 to get onto a pathway. Go with another pathway. You can take another pathway, and then at that time you have to pay $20 again. That's how it works. And then no matter what pathway you take, it has they're all structured the same way. There are 5 levels. There are 5 levels. Level one is mastering the fundamentals. It tells you about, first of all, you start with an icebreaker, and then after that you talk about some of your favorite topics. Totally 4 speeches you have to make. All levels include speeches in Toastmasters. You have to make 4 speeches, and in that one, 3 of them are original speeches, that is icebreaker, and then other 2 are original. In this level, it's you understand the real fundamentals of speeches. You figure out about and you practice the basic structure of the speeches, and then how to receive feedback from others, how to improve, how to apply those feedback and then improve on your public speaking. So very first one is icebreaker. You talk about yourself or why you are taking this particular pathway, anything about personal information. That's what you use that. And then other 2 are anything about your favorite topics. You're free to use any of that. And then one of them, second one is when you make a speech and then you get to receive the feedback and then you have to use that feedback and improve your speech. That's what it's about. That's why I added it as a +1. And then the third one is about where you have to have a speech that you have to do research, something that you don't know. You do research, you collect information, and then you present that. So these are fundamentals of how you organize the speech, how you receive feedback and give feedback. After your second speech, you got the feedback and then you made the improvements based on that. Once you do that, you should be actually giving an evaluation also, so that you understand how to give evaluation and how to receive evaluation. So that's about level one. And level two is about learning your style. Over here, you figure out about what's your style is, what's your communication style, what's your leadership style, what's your storytelling style. Different people are different. So now that you have learned the fundamentals, you are going to learn about what's your style. And then the level three is about how you merge the two, your knowledge and your style. How do you merge them together and then make your speeches much better. That's what is called increasing knowledge. So level 2 has 3 speeches. Level 3 has one a mandatory and then 2 elective speeches on elective subjects. Toastmasters suggest what the speech topic should be, and then you have to make the speeches on that. We'll go over that again. And then level 4 is about what you have, whatever you have learned in the knowledge you got by merging knowledge and experience. By merging your style with the knowledge, you are going to implement a project. You are going to come up with a project, and then you exercise your new knowledge that you have learned, and then you talk about your experiences. So that's what is about level 4. So it has one must-have topic, and then another one is about elective topic that you can choose. So level 5 is about you demonstrating your expertise that you are comfortable with in any of these pathway. You demonstrate how good you are, how much you have learned. This is supposed to be something that is outside the club. You may demonstrate this one, or even within the club, you may go the extra mile and use this knowledge and experience and show that what you can do with it. So this is a little bit harder project, and where you show your expertise. So these are the level 5. All of them are same.
What are the
All the 5 pathways.
timeline for finishing these 5 levels, Jay?
Mhm.
My question is, what's the timeline? Everyone, you choose a pathway, I suppose you need to finish these 5 levels. Is it a timeline requirement? You need to finish in a year, or it's based on your own time and on your own pace?
So it's a very good question. So remember, Toastmasters is a safe place where you can make experiments, and then there is a add on to that. That what I normally add is that self-paced. So it's always self-paced, depending on your time availability. You can choose, and the speaking opportunity available in your club. You can space yourself in this one. There is no limit. And another interesting thing is all these speeches, there is nobody who is actually monitoring you. Nobody who is telling, okay, this speech is good, this speech is not good enough, you have to repeat. No, nobody does that. It's yours. You own the responsibility of improving your own communication. You can always use shortcuts and then may skip things and then just finish it, or you can go the extra mile and then you do everything perfect. And even if the electives say, okay, you, for example, in these electives, if they say, okay, you can take one elective, nobody is stopping you from taking 2 electives. It's okay. So it's all up to you how you want to drive this. So it's always
So
self-paced and self-direct.
I see. Jay, I have another question. So,
Sure.
once we're like in the club, so you just said it's self-direct. So each of us determines whether we are progressing to level 2 or level 3, and then club changes in that case, or we still stay within the same group. Because, for example, I'm just thinking the type of feedback that I would get while I'm at level 1 would be very different when I'm, say, at level 4, right? Because my speech improves, and thus I'm expecting to get, say, more feedback from more experienced people or people who are at the same level or above.
Yeah, certainly the evaluators have to consider the speaker's level
Mm-hmm.
before providing the feedback. For example, you cannot give the same feedback as level 5 to somebody who is doing the ice breaking, right? So
Mm-hmm.
certainly they have to monitor that, but the thing is that your club has to manage that. It's up to the club about who can evaluate who. The only requirement is that for evaluations, you have to finish at least level 1 to before you can give evaluation to others. That's the only requirement.
I see. And in this case, someone would tell me, oh, Pavel, you've passed level 1, now you can move to level 2, or who determines my progress?
I will show you that one
Okay.
further down and when we go there. So
Okay.
going back to this pathway, right? All these things, the details you can find out about in these links. So this one, there is this thing called Pathway Summary. This is a beautiful document. It explains each and every pathway, what it is, in a very brief manner, in a very concisely, it explains. So each one of them. So you can go over that. This link I'm going to provide you. Basically, as it says here, dynamic leadership is all about solving problem as a leader. Effective coaching is about helping others to achieve something higher. Engaging humor is about finding humor in each and every speech that you make. And innovative planning is about being detail oriented, running different projects, making sure your communication is good with all the stakeholders. That's what you learn in innovative planning. So, and the leadership development is about basic leadership. And in fact, the tagline for Toastmasters is where leaders are made. So leadership development is where you will learn about the fundamentals of leadership, and then the opportunities in learning leadership is huge in Toastmasters. There are so many different ways you can learn. One is about from the being an officer at club level, area level, division level, or district level, or even beyond. And also in hosting contests, there are so many different contests that are happening always in Toastmasters, and then you can host the contest, and then that means you're building a team and then working with them and then making it happen, the contest, you're hosting the contest. So all those things are great opportunities to learn leadership. Then motivation strategies about how you motivate your club members in participating, in improving their speeches. So, and persuasive influence is about convincing others about what's the benefit of Toastmasters or any of your project that you are leading. And then presentation mastery is something that is the default one that Toastmasters offers. That's the default one, the very first one. This is about how you make speeches, what's your communication style, and then our storytelling, all of those in the very basic presentation, you learn about that. And then strategic relationships is about how you make negotiations, how you build something with a purpose. So you learn a lot about those things. And team collaboration again is about how to work as a team together. And visionary communication actually takes you to the next level. You have to do challenging communication like hosting a workshop. All of these things are available, and then you can take any of them depending on what you want to achieve. You can go over in detail, and as I said, no matter what you take, they all have the same structure. Are there any questions?
So I have a question. Is like 1 hour club site and club supposed to all sign up for the same pathway, or each of us can sign up for different pathway, and then how does it work?
Yeah, so the question is, can you have one pathway or multiple pathways?
Yes, like for example, I would take pathway 1. Will would like to take pathway 2
Yes,
to improve his skills in this direction. Is
right,
that
right.
how it works? Or
You can sign up for any number of pathways simultaneously. You
Mhm.
can work on any number of pathways. That's not a problem. Also, within this one, you can jump around from these levels. For example, you can easily start with level 3 if you want to. But you have to complete level 1 and level 2 sometime later, but it doesn't have to be in the same order. That's what I mean.
Mm.
Okay, so you can take some speech that belongs to like level 3. You can start with that. It's okay. Because sometimes it's about the timing that matters. So you get an opportunity to run a project, and then you have already you say this is your second or third pathway, and then you are already comfortable with everything, and then you got an opportunity to run a project, and then you want to talk about it. It's okay. You can do that. So there is no, as I said, it's all about self-directed. So you direct how you want your learning to be in Toastmasters. This is not a college, this is not a school, this is not a course. There is no instructor here. You run your learning path here.
Okay. Hey, Jay, I have another question. On these
Sure.
selected topics, are these one was assigned from like a mentor like you, or it's there are some topics you get from like Toastmaster has a database?
So let's go over. That's a great segue to go to sign up for the pathway. So let's go here. This is your Toastmasters. You should bookmark this. This is the one. This you will be coming very frequently. Then you go in here. You log in. You go in. So when you go in, you go to the home screen here, and the most frequently you where you go for pathways is this one, and then you go to Basecamp. Go to Basecamp. So this is where all the pathways are there. So over here, where you have two options, most of the people have only go to Basecamp. If you're an officer in a club, you will have login as a Basecamp manager. So even before going to go Basecamp, I want to show you how to choose a pathway. So if you want to, as a beginner, if you haven't chosen a pathway yet, so you can go here, click on continue to pathway selection. So over here, you come here and then you can get a printed material or online material, and most of us we select online material now. So you just select digital, and then now you go view all path options. So this is where you will find all the path options, the ones that I showed, and you can select any of this. You can select any of the, I have chosen effective coaching. Currently, that's what I am doing. I just now, about last month, I've completed leadership development, but I can select any of that. You can select multiple also if you want. But remember, each one of them costs 20 bucks, 20 US dollars. So here, this is a recommended because this is a default pathway that Toastmasters recommends. But you are free to choose any of that. Once you choose any of this, right? You don't have to choose that now. When you go over this and at your leisure, and then you can uh, choose any of them. Once you choose, I'll go to mine. So I go here. This is how the base camp looks. So you have path, different paths and learnings, whatever you have signed up. You can go there, or you can go to speech evaluations and other resources what they have. Let's go to paths and learning. This is where you find. So as I mentioned, I have selected effective coaching. Once you start completing levels, Toastmasters will give you additional material, additional resources for you to go over. You can go over and then learn all of this, and then get better at it. It's all about public speaking. It's all about leadership. It's all about communication. So these are very good resources. Toastmasters gives you a lot of these. These are all free. You don't have to pay anything. So coming to the pathway, so this is my pathway, and I go to open curriculum. When I go to open curriculum, here you see all the level 1, level 2, level 3, 4, 5, and then path completion. So level 1, if you select level 1, so you can see that there are 3 speeches, and then this is just a completion. This is you mark it as complete. That's all. So here icebreaker, this one everybody should start. And then if you are totally new to the club, you can talk about yourself. If you are taking a second pathway, then you can talk about why you are taken this pathway and what are you planning to achieve from this. And then this is evaluation feedback. This is a second speech I said. You can talk about anything you want, and then you can get the feedback and you use the feedback to improve upon that. This is the third one that I was talking about, researching and presenting. So this is where you Google or anything and then figure out about some new topic, you make your presentation. So let's go over here. So when you go, if you launch, it will tell you about what an icebreaker is, because that's what I selected here, right? So it tells you about icebreaker, even navigation. So this navigation, it tells you about how you navigate within these screens. And basically there is an arrow here, and then it talks about introduction. This is there are a lot of materials. It tells you about what this speech is about, and then you can keep going further. And then what is most important one is that here your evaluation. So in this one there is something called evaluation resource. So this is the one that you should be sending to your evaluator. You can enter your name, evaluator's name, what's the date, and then your speech title. And then the evaluator will fill up this, where you excelled at, what you had to work on. And then also there are different criteria that they are going to grade you on. And then they'll put a comment on this one. So all these things are useful for you as an evaluation. And coming back to here, so this is all must have, and then these are all mandatory for all of that. Once you're done with all the three, you can just click on this one and then say you're completed. This is just a formality that Toastmasters knows that, okay, you have completed here. All the pathways have the same three topics. You do that, and then you can go to the you can mark it as complete. If you look at it, it starts about understanding your leadership's style. This is not something you can pick. You will anything that is related to this topic, and then when you activate this one, you will go here, and then here you will see how to go about that particular speech, how to prepare for it, what are the different things that you can do. It's the same format, just like what you saw in Icebreaker. So this is about how you start, how you begin, and then what's the introduction, and your assignment, what exactly you need. You can assess your skills, and here your competencies. It takes you to all the whole 9 yards here, and then you select this, and then at the same time you come at the end again. There is a evaluation. This is a pattern. This is a structure of all the pathways, all the speeches that you need to follow. And then once you are done with this, once you are provided you made your speech, everything, you had to come back, and then you had to talk about what the evaluation you got. And then once you get everything, at that time you will say congratulations. That means you are done with that speech. And that's the thing for all the 5 levels. And I'll just briefly go over this elective level 3, and then they say that, okay, in coaching is level 3, level 4, level 5 are different for different pathways. And then in case of coaching, this is a must have, reaching consensus. I have to have a project where I have worked with the team and then reached a consensus. And then here, these are the electives. So there are different electives, different topics that Toastmasters gives at a level 3. And then you can choose any two. Minimum required is 2, but you can run all of that. It's okay. It's up to you. But if you do 2, then that means your level 3 is complete. That's what it means. And the same thing with level 4. It has one required topic speech, and then one elective project. And then level 5 is also same way. It is one required speech here with the project, and then one elective project that you had to do. And then in the end, all the projects, you end with a reflect. So you need to give a speech about what you learned, what was exciting for you, and you talk about your experience. So this is what the pathway is. Any question?
So I have a question, Ray. For the pathway, for all these practice, the speeches will be presented in the club. Is that
Right.
correct? I see.
Right. You can present this in your club or in a different club. It's okay to go to a different club and present it also. But if you want to do that, there are certain rules that you have to follow. If you go to a different club, even you can do it outside, totally in a some conference that you made a speech, you can make use of that, as long as you get an evaluation from a qualified Toastmaster. A qualified Toastmaster is somebody who is a current member and who has completed level 1.
I see.
Yeah, as long as it is that, and then also you need to, beforehand, you need to tell the VPE that this is what you are doing for this particular speech.
Okay.
Yeah. Any other questions? Okay. So
Oh, I'm sorry. I'm sorry.
go
I
go
have one
ahead.
quick question. How do we
Sure.
mark a speech as completed? Like, do we do it, or does somebody from kind of higher
So
up level marks it as
now
finished?
it's all self-directed. So you need to do
Okay.
that. Remember when I said I showed you that you had to go through this when you launch on
Right.
this one,
Yep. Yep.
right? And then
Uh-huh.
you had to go through the steps.
Yeah.
And
Okay.
in the end, it says congratulations, where
Mm-hmm.
in the
Okay.
end you give what the evaluation you got.
Okay.
You record that there, and then in the end, so this is your evaluation. That's what
Mm-hmm.
you got, what you think you got is fine.
Mm-hmm.
Again, it's all for yourself, right? So you enter that, and then when you go here, this is what you get. This is how we have to. How you select is this one. Like if you go here, I'll show you that you can just say 3 here, whatever you got, and then you can go over different questions. They have some 5, 6 questions. Once you are done with that, you go here, congratulations. That means it's marked as done.
Okay.
Yeah,
Thank
but
you.
levels, you have to, when you finish the level, you have to mark it as, you have to go here and then mark it as done. And that,
Mm-hmm.
when you click on that, the message goes to your VPE. Basically, he or she has to approve, basically telling that, yes, I know this person has done all these speeches. It can be in your club or a different club, but the VPE knows. And then the message, the information that you have finished this level goes to Toastmasters, and they will give you a certificate, basically a message acknowledging that yes, you have finished your level.
Okay.
Those things are very important. I can talk about it in a different session.
Okay. I think it's very good information. We need to learn more and as we practice and move for the next levels. So each member should sign up one pathway to develop their skills, and the first pathway is free.
No, it's not free. It's, you have paid already $20.
Oh, you already, when we sign up, you already paid.
When you
Okay.
sign up, you already have paid for
I
that.
see. Okay. But for now, when you get in, it's free. You can select one. Otherwise,
Right, right.
okay.
All right.
Okay, that's a related question for the pathway because you need to make the payment. I was thinking if we still want to ask the sponsorship from the company, is there you need to pay right away, or you can, there's an option you can be get to be sponsored.
I believe you need to pay to the Toastmaster first before you can start on Pathway.
Okay, so we need to find a way if we can provide the payment information to the member or have to be reimbursed
Mm-hmm.
if we
Yeah,
want.
so you basically, yeah, you have to, you can start once the Toastmasters get their a fee for the Pathway, and you can get it reimbursed from your company after that. It's okay. It's up to
I
you
see.
how you deal with it.
Okay, gotcha. Great. I have one question not related to pathway. Do you want to stop recording or?
Yeah, I will stop recording.